thinking that if this is actually true, if Jesus Christ is God and comes to us in the Eucharist, then that literally changes everything.
Simple. So it's not like I'm asking and you answer?
Okay. My name is Melina, and I'm 21 years old. I'm from Ohio, from 3 different areas in Ohio. But I went to college in Cleveland, Ohio at John Carroll University, and there I got to study theology and philosophy. And ever since I was little, I remember just being so perplexed by asking really big questions about the world. And I would go on long walks with my dad and just look up at the stars in the sky. And I had really no idea of religion or no formal formation about how the world was, but I just remember thinking whoever created that must be really cool. But I had an encounter with the person of Jesus in the Eucharist when I was in high school. And from there, I remember thinking that if this is actually true, if Jesus Christ is God and comes to us in the Eucharist, then that literally changes everything. And as I slowly started learning about what that means about my own identity, I realized that the news of what the human person is or who the human person is so beautiful and so good and can't not be shared. So in high school, I realized that I wanted to study theology and philosophy so that I could put some language to the answers of those really big questions, or at least keep learning about the answers to those questions, about what the human person is, who God is, what the meaning of our lives is. And during my time in college, I got a lot of those answers, and I got a lot of that language to answer those questions. And I realized that identity is not something that you just learn about once in junior high or at one youth group event, but it's something that we continually must learn and come back to and learn more about. And it's really the foundation of our lives, learning about our own identity. And we're living in a culture with a lot of confusion, and everyone on all sides of the spectrum says that, but what does that actually mean, that we're living in this society of confusion? I believe the Culture Project is a beautiful ministry that provides answers to the questions that everyone is asking. And when I found out about this ministry, my heart just immediately came alive with this passion for sharing the beauty of the human person, because it's not cliche, it's not old, it never gets old, and it's something that it's continually more beautiful the more that you learn about it. So yeah, I especially have a passion for speaking truth to those who are in their most vulnerable stages of learning, those in middle school and high school, when they're hearing millions of different voices, to be able to be part of something, this one voice that's actually speaking truth and life and goodness into these kids' hearts that they may not realize or they may never have heard before, is a really beautiful opportunity. And I'm really excited to share with everyone, not just middle schoolers and high schoolers, that their goodness is literally so infinite that it's not possible to contain them to any one category, and they're not made for any one label. But yeah, the goodness of their personality is something to be continually more aware of over the course of their lives. I didn't want to be a missionary after graduation, so I was not comparing this to other missions. I wasn't discerning between all these different things. I actually was pretty actively against being a missionary after graduation. And it was over winter break that I was doing job research and apartment research, and I opened Instagram one day and saw this ad that said, it was an Instagram reel, and it said, "Do you want to have the best job of your life after graduation?" And I was like, yeah. And it was a Culture Project ad. So I went to the website and immediately just found these parts of my heart were just inflamed, because I had felt they weren't dormant parts of my heart, but I felt they were still kind of developing, and I thought that the Lord would eventually lead me to something way down in the future. But yeah, I chose this mission because it allows, I've always had a desire to teach, but it allows for me to be in the classroom setting, kind of as a teacher, talking about some of the most fundamentally important things that kids will ever hear. And there's no other ministry like this one. This is a pre-evangelistic ministry, so we get to play a really integral part in the formation of young ones and really like lay the foundation that they're going to carry into the rest of their lives.